time. Boom. All right, just clear. All right. I feel like we really can't start this without you whispering something to the audience. So maybe you need to give birth to this, and only the way that you can.
Oh, snap. Welcome back, guys. It's been a while. First, you only had audio, but now you got visual. Hey. I just like to say, Apartment 13, we back at you. We got a new addition, Scotty John. See, all right. And we just want you. Hey, Two Crowns is back in the building. So you might recognize some of the voices. We might have revamped names, but it'll be like that sometimes. Yeah, we back. We kicking it off again. Welcome. Join us. Sometimes we'll be sipping. Sometimes we may be doing other activities. Kick back, relax, have some fun, and welcome back.
It's nice to kind of get back and do it again and add the new addition, Scotty John, you know what I'm saying? From Philly, of course, you know what I'm saying? You ain't saying it right.
Accurate. Gotta make sure you see John.
Yeah, so I also wanted to give a special shout out to Breezy.
Breezy.
It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday.
He old
earlier, but I gotta shout you out anyway. That's my brother over there. So happy birthday to you. Hope you're getting some coop tonight.
Big facts. Big facts.
Yeah, so I wanted to get into the beginnings, paying homage to episode 1. Oh, and that reminds me, I feel like this is a podcast with some legacy behind it. So I feel like it's only right that I at some point upload all of the previous episodes in video format so that you guys can check that content out from when we first did this before the video chats were popping. And if you ever want to know kind of like what it was all those years ago and how crazy it was, you can hear that, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully we keep the same energy, and bring it over to the video side of things. Yeah, so I want to start things off paying homage to the old with a little segment called Right or Wrong. All right. So I'm gonna just spitball a couple of things that y'all are random. Let me know if you think it's right or if there's something wrong with that. Something not quite right, not status quo. You know what I'm saying? So let's get started. Jelly on an egg and cheese sandwich.
Oh, that's right.
It's fucking disgusting. Yeah.
First of all, Devil's Preacher, before I let you begin, please.
Go ahead, Scotty Jones.
That we're not putting jelly on eggs. That's not what's happening. What's happening is we have scrambled eggs. You have your toasted bread with butter. You place jelly on your toast, and you eat that with your eggs. It's going to commingle at some point separately. So you know what? Just put it all together, and you have a nice sweet and savory flavor that are commingling. It's already going to commingle because you already eat it. So let's not act like this is some foreign thing. No one is saying take a scoop of jelly and dump it on your eggs. That's ridiculous. But when you have your toast that's buttered, you put jelly on your toast. And if you had your toast separate from your eggs, you'd be eating those things simultaneously. So the flavor of jelly will somehow still be on your palate when you take a bite of your eggs.
Okay.
You toast your bread for your sandwich and ever so lightly place some jelly on it before you combine it with your eggs. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
So you feel that way even now in these Corona times? Like, it's okay. Things can touch. Things can commingle.
Yes, because that has nothing to do with my toast and my jelly and the scrambled eggs.
Listen, if you want jelly on your toast, just put jelly on your toast. Leave the egg out of it.
That's what's happening. The egg is just there.
No, the egg is the defining characteristic of the fucking sandwich. You cannot do that. Every sandwich has bread. We know this. Some toast has jelly. We know this. We don't fucking do egg with toast and jelly. But all right, you know what? You can do that. I'll give you this. You can put jelly on your fucking toast while you eat eggs. That's it. That's the only compromise you cannot say, ooh, there's egg on my toast and I want to put jelly on it. You can't do that.
No. See, you're saying it wrong. You're saying it wrong. We're not saying there's egg on my toast. I'm putting jelly on it. I'm saying there's already jelly on this toast. I'm making a sandwich and adding the egg.
But you can't.
It's different.
Once you toast it and put jelly on it, unless the other slice of bread has peanut butter, it's not a sandwich. It's toast. And you gotta eat it separately. You don't take for real. Who takes 2 buttered pieces of toast, sandwiches them together, and eats them? You eat them individually. Huh?
I do that sometimes.
You cutting in and out because it's bullshit. So I understand what Zoom is doing. It's
I
helping
do.
out. But still, you do?
Yeah. I make me a butter toast sandwich. I can't eat individually, so it lasts longer. But
sometimes you.
It's like getting a bit.
It's like a fuller flavor, a fuller taste.
It's getting a roll with butter. Your roll is toasted with butter.
Okay, but that's different because you want it enclosed. On a toast, it's not supposed to be enclosed. That's why it's called toast, not a sandwich. Y'all fucking it up. Listen, I've been a fat man my whole life. All right, I'm gonna break it down. All right, you got toast. Toast has to be eaten separately. It cannot be combined into a sandwich. Okay, it's separate. You put your avocado, your butter, your jelly independently, and you eat that. Maybe you might scoop some, sandwich them. So not sandwich them, but scoop a little egg. Eat some egg and then eat the sandwich or whatever, and that's okay. But you cannot literally make a sandwich out of it and eat that. Like when you think of a sandwich, the logic is you're putting a sauce on it, right? Right? You're putting honey mustard, maybe spicy mustard, maybe some mayo, maybe some ketchup. There's some sauce going on that thing. Nobody thinks of the status quo sauces that go on a sandwich and think, I'll substitute mayo with jelly. I'll substitute mayo for jelly. I'll substitute that mustard or that ketchup for some jam. No one's doing that. Why? Because they understand how a sandwich is supposed to work and how it functions. You're talking about toast. Toast has toppings. That's why you have French toast with all types of shit on top. Whipped cream, syrup, strawberry. You can't do that with a sandwich.
I think you're misunderstanding it. The reason the sandwich was invented was so people can be lazy. You don't want to make a mess. So if you had all these things individually and was just like, oh, I had to put ketchup here, ketchup here, ketchup here, ketchup here. Oh, but if I combine everything, eureka! It's
that's what the gobbler is. You eat in the gobbler.
I've tried it one time and I have not received. I'm not giving it another try because I don't want all those things touching.
See, it just comes down to a matter of perspective or preference, because people who have texture issues, they don't want their food on a plate touching, and it's supposed to be separate on a plate. So people who don't mind mixing stuff on a plate, even if it's not a sandwich, you just mix your food and then you eat it that way. Same premise. That's what a sandwich is. You're taking everything.
Problems. So you have texture problems.
I have what?
Texture problems.
Texture problems?
Yes.
I just think I have.
You have texture sensitivities.
Texture sensitivities.
That's crazy. All right, so here's another one, right? Right or wrong is can we classify masturbation as cheating, or would you classify masturbation as cheating? I'm currently watching Smothered season 2, and there is a family where this woman is pretty much holding her fiance hostage in their relationship because he was found cheating. When the full story was revealed, he had only masturbated, but she deems masturbation as cheating. And I'm trying to understand how the fuck that works when you have a daughter who is bisexual and you're of a, well, never mind. I'm not even going to touch on religion, but you see where I'm going with this. The husband is wrong for masturbating, but the daughter is okay for going against.
Let me just jump in here and say the daughter's sexuality has nothing to do with this.
I know it has nothing to do with this, but it helps with this with the scale, so you know more about this woman and how she makes her judgments. You see, it helps you to
and I'll just also
evaluate things.
This woman's a hypocrite because she definitely had sex toys,
and thank you.
She's masturbating.
Thank you.
I don't
understand.
That's information that helps.
Yeah,
that helps.
I don't understand how her husband has cheated via masturbation when she's masturbating herself, encouraging her daughter to masturbate because she's showing her sex toys to her daughter. So I don't understand.
I was gonna argue the other side of it, but then you said that, so I don't know. Because I was gonna say, well, maybe she has toys and her husband used it on her, but then you was like, she's trying to get her daughter to masturbate. So I don't know.
Well, I'm not gonna say she's trying to get her daughter to masturbate. I'll just say that she shared her objects as far as letting her daughter know she has these things. So it's like, how is that wrong? Like how did this man cheat? I don't understand.
I guess from her perspective, right? And this is me putting my cape on.
Sorry.
Right? I'm putting my cape on. I'm gonna try to save her right now, right? Maybe to her perspective, she masturbates, but she thinks about him. And when he's masturbating, he's thinking about something else because he's watching porn. And so for her, oh, you're watching porn, you're masturbating, you're a cheater. And for her, it's like, I'm only thinking about you when you're not here. So it's enhancing the relationship.
I think some key information too, the story surrounding the incident, he was actually out on his bachelor party. And he was out and, of course, gotten aroused and went back to his hotel and then masturbated. So I feel like perhaps there could be a situation where because he was out and went to the strip club or whatever and got aroused and then went home back to the hotel and masturbated, I think she could be tying the fact that he went out to the strip club, got aroused by strippers, and all that happened. Again, still ridiculous, but I'm just trying to piece it together because it don't make no sense.
So I'm glad you gave me that information. I was gonna try to advocate for her, but yeah, she's wrong. She's
a hypocrite.
I feel like she just doesn't want to marry him, but she's like she's looking for reasons not to marry him because it doesn't make any sense. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to hold this over this man's head. Like, he did something terrible.
We're going to speak on it in one of our other episodes about honesty, because she needs to be honest.
Yes, honesty. Yes, we definitely need to talk on that, for sure.
It's like everyone I like.
Yeah, honesty and accountability.
Facts. Now, since we're on the topic of sex, right or wrong, abstinence.
I think that's a personal preference. I think
is it right or is it wrong?
Then it's right. If you I wouldn't call it wrong. I wouldn't call it wrong. Yeah. I think it's up to you to decide what's best for you. And just be honest with yourself so that you find a person who aligns with that as well.
I feel like abstinence is wrong. And here's why. if you look at it from um, a personal choice perspective, so an adult who has made a decision now in their life to be to abstain from sex, I feel like in a lot of cases that's spurred on because of some form of hurt or some pattern of trauma that continues to occur. So their remedy to fix it is I'm going to abstain from sex, as if them no longer having sex would kind of alleviate the problem and now they don't have to deal with it anymore. But they're going to encounter that same issue when they start having sex again with their one partner or their multiple partners or whatever it is that they were running from initially. So I feel like, huh?
If they have sex again.
If they have sex again, you're right about that. So I feel like that's one scenario that happens often. And then the second one is being a young teenager or young adult and kind of being taught abstinence as a way to not slip up, you know what I'm saying, and to, progress without any real baggage into your adulthood. So an issue that I have with that is it doesn't promote knowledge and education around the topic of sex. It's just don't have it, don't worry about it, you'll be fine. But for those who make the choice to engage in it because we were born with private parts, right, that are for procreation, it kind of leaves them hanging. It kind of leaves them out there. They don't know what to do. And because they've been taught abstinence and there is no education on how to do this the right way, right? Because yeah, you could tell me abstinence all day, but y'all had to fuck for me to get here, so I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, somebody got to teach us something, and that's what I have an issue with. So I'm not saying abstinence in all situations are bad. I think there are very few scenarios where like that person not having sex anymore is probably going to help the public versus the other way around. But I feel like majority of the cases are those two scenarios. And then if you think about it, those young people who don't learn safe sex end up becoming those problematic people that you're like, you should not be fucking people anymore. Because they done made so many mistakes not knowing shit that now it's like it's too late to correct anything because they done already did the damage to themselves and other people.
I think when oops, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're all right. I was just gonna say it's called Test Tube Babies. But go ahead.
You're right.
I think when abstinence is weaponized to police sexuality, then of course it's wrong. Just everything to your point, Mr. Crowns, that like you have people who grow up not knowing about their body, and it isn't even just about the act of sex. Like sexual knowledge gets policed, so it's like you have young girls growing up not fully understanding menstruation and not fully understanding how they develop as women, and same thing for boys not fully understanding puberty and maturity and things like that when it comes to their body. So I think when when abstinence is used to police, it's wrong because it stunts your growth, and it sends you out into a dangerous world. You're set up to fail because a narrative is being pushed that if because of what you think the world is, like that is what it is, and that's not how it is. And when you send someone out into the world ill prepared and ignorant to reality, then like you said, you come across these people who end up making these mistakes and regretting some things, only if not for them being uneducated on the subject. So I think abstinence, along with proper education and knowing that abstinence is an option, but also safe sex is an option, and also being sort of mentored in the emotional space surrounding sex and sexual activities, I think that is fine for whoever's engaging to have their choice. But I think when it's used to police and try to control someone, it's like you're just setting them up for failure, and that's not right. Because like you said, you definitely did something because I'm here. So let's not be naive to the reality of the world.
And just a question I want to pose to our public is, as a parent, which some of you might be or some of you might not be, but if you were a parent or as a parent, would you prefer to have a child who is promiscuous but is very educated on safe sex? And even though they were engaged in sexual activities from maybe, let's say, the age of 16 into adulthood, they knew what they were doing and kind of avoided any real trouble? Or would you rather have the child that you said you can't have sex, and then the one time they had sex, they made every mistake in the fucking playbook and came home with a baby, and now they got to deal with that and carry that for the rest of their lives? I personally would rather educate my child to avoid the other scenario, because the other scenario is no fault. That person didn't know, and it was too late when they got the lesson. So I don't know. That's where I land on it, but I would definitely like to get the viewers' opinions on this, because I think it's something we could all relate to. It's lesser of two evils, I think. So yeah, that was a crazy, crazy segment. Glad we could start things off on the right foot, paying homage to episode 1 many, many moons ago. But now, you know what I'm saying? The co-host with the mostest, you know, I'm excited to let you run us into this next segment. So take it away, sir.
But no. Welcome to Versus. On one hand, we have being social.